Hey guys, we're out here today in Alaska's coastal temperate rainforest, and we are looking for big pumpkins, by which I mean really big old growth trees. Throughout the world, temperate rainforests have become one of the most degraded and endangered ecoregions. Even here in Alaska, it's been pretty hard hit by industrial scale logging. So there's not as many of these really big trees as there used to be. But today we're gonna hike up into a place I like and see if we can find some. It's remarkable how this tree has been hollowed out from the inside, and it's left standing like a big stovepipe, but it's still alive. Looks like it's about to fall, but things like that happen over a lot of years by the standards of human lives. This is a nice stand of old growth temperate rainforest in here. You can see that multiple generations of large trees have grown up, lived their lives, and then died, been knocked over by wind or storm or whatever, and it's created these openings in the forest canopy that allow light in, and it allows vegetation like these blueberry bushes or devil's club to flourish on the forest floor that you wouldn't see in a younger, even age stand that's an artifact of a clear cut. And this brush that grows in the understory is really important deer food, while the larger trees are really important for blocking snowfall and preventing the snow from getting too deep in winter for deer to be able to move around from food source to food source and eventually starving. Walking up a deer trail here. It's pretty steep, so it might not look it on the camera. I guess I'm out of shape. Time to shed a layer. Getting warm. Well, I made it up the first steep slope, and then we're on kind of a bench. We're gonna go up through some meadows and by a pond. And then we're gonna go up another steeper bench, and hopefully we'll find some big trees. Holy smokes. I was hiking through here and there were geese in the woods, and they just exploded into the sky right in front of me. About giving me a heart attack. I was like, what is that? Bears? Pterodactyls? Just geese. There's a pond up ahead we're gonna see, and I bet the geese are nesting there. Pretty cool. They fly up into these little mountain ponds and raise up their little families. So we've hiked up one steep slope. We're gonna hike up another. We're at this beautiful pond, which was formed when a little family of beavers made a little dam at the other end of the lake. And now it's great habitat for nesting ducks and geese. This is where a male deer rubbed his antlers on a tree during the mating season in November to mark his territory. Difficult conditions, sinking in the snow. Found a few larger pumpkins. There's a truly massive one somewhere on this hillside. Hopefully I can find it, but it's pretty tough conditions with the snow and the ground is still frozen because we're at kind of higher elevation. But this is a really cool stand of trees. It's full of deer. And lots of deer sign. Lots of moose sign too. It's hard to get a perspective on these trees. They don't look that big through the wide angle camera lens, but up and close in person, they're quite huge. Ugh, I got a bunch of snow down my boots. Now my shins are cold, like little icicles. I'm not sure if these trees count as official big pumpkins. They might be like big acorn squash. Big gourds. Beautiful trees though. On this nice slope. These Sitka spruce really love to grow on these steep slopes. I guess by Southeast Alaska standards, this soil is well drained. You know, squish, squish. There's a sooty grouse up there somewhere, but I didn't bring my binoculars, so I can't find him. But that's alright. We're not out hunting, we're just out enjoying, so it's nice to hear us. Nice hooting. Hoot, hoot, hoot. This is Devil's Club. It's a really spiny plant that pokes into your skin and breaks off and causes painful little infections. but it's actually a pretty useful medicinal plant. Has good antibiotic properties. My understanding is that it's a part of the ginseng family. It smells really botanical and strong, but you'll have to take my word for it because I couldn't afford the camera with smell-o-vision. Here's a Sitka spruce and a West Harn hemlock that have melded together and are growing into each other. If two species of trees can get along, why not people? Well, I saw 7 deer on this slope behind me that I came down where we saw the grouse and all those nice trees, which I guess goes to show you what important deer habitat this is and what a rich ecosystem these big old growth forests are. And those 7 deer I saw, even though I was yakking into my camera and fumbling around with my equipment, not running like in sneaky mode like I would be if I was deer hunting. Man, it's beautiful up here. Unfortunately, I don't have a big telephoto lens, but there's a couple beautiful drake buffleheads on this pond. Maybe they're going to nest here. This old weathered wood on this tree is so cool. Hey guys, well I can officially say this now that I made it back to the car. I had a great hike and I didn't get eaten by a bear. We saw a lot of wildlife of the hoofed variety, some of the winged variety, and none of the fuzzy clawed toothed variety, which is the way I like it. We saw some pretty nice trees. I think a couple of them were definitely big pumpkins. More were extra large gourds. There's a really giant tree somewhere up there that I found one time when I was coming off the really high peak. But there was less snow. There was no snow at the time, so the slope was less slippery. And it's really steep there, and it's hard to side hill back up and down looking for that big tree because there's a lot of other big trees too, kind of obscuring it. Still, I'm pretty pleased with the quality of the spruce we saw. Well, you must have liked the video or found it somewhat interesting if you made it to the end. So if you can please hit the like button or subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It would help me with the YouTube algorithm masters. So thanks. We'll see you next time.